D1 Charlie Kirk review, and today I'm listening to some of his basketball takes, specifically basketball takes, because we all have our opinions on, the Kirkification process, but we won't be talking about that today. Alright, just the basketball, and specifically, we are reacting to a video where he gets into a debate with some poor college student over LeBron or MJ. Now, my thoughts on the LeBron-MJ GOAT debate is pretty simple. Both are the GOAT. Alright, it's as simple as that. You have LeBron James, who has obvious things that you could like better than Michael Jordan, and you have Michael Jordan, who has obvious things that you could like more than LeBron. It kind of just matters about the era that you grew up in. Unks back in, the 60s and 70s will tell you that Kareem is the GOAT. People born in 1950 will tell you that Bill Russell is the GOAT. There's 4 people that you can call the GOAT. You can't call anyone else the GOAT. If you do, fuck you. Well, let's get into it. I'm pretty excited for this. Here we are. Let us press play and react to this 8-minute long video, so not bad. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, I know there's a clip of you, I don't know what college it was, but you were debating against a student, right? And it was, do you think MJ or LeBron is the GOAT? Come on. I want to know if you still think MJ is the GOAT or if your stance has changed.
All right,
come on.
so it's a great question. What's your name?
My name's Jerome.
Nice to meet you, Jerome. How do you define greatness?
I define greatness as in what someone has been able to accomplish within the time they're in the league. So that's what I think contributes to greatness.
Do you think it's easier to score points in 2025 or in 1995 in the
So it's easier to score points in 1995's NBA and the 90s in general, all right, because defenses were far worse. All right, you had less talent overall in the league. The expansion drafts were making talent harder and harder to find. And as you see, our Kirkmeister will say something different, though.
NBA?
It's easier?
Which one is easier? Is it easier to score points in 2025 or in 1995?
I think it's easier to score points now, most definitely now.
Okay, so therefore, when we look at point totals of LeBron, we got to take that with an asterisk, right?
Not entirely at all. The reason why someone would say it is easier to score in today's NBA is merely the fact that there are more people scoring more points. All right, the talent in the NBA has gone so far up offensively, and defense can only do so much, and it's called for fouls all the time. So realistically, offense has just gone too far for defense to handle. So it is not easier to score in today's league. It's actually much harder because you need to have such incredible talent. If you look at your average player today and your average player back then, the difference in talent is actually so incredibly high that this isn't much of a question.
Because where was defense more emphasized? In the early 90s NBA or today?
Defense is definitely more emphasized in the early 90s, right?
Hold on.
So the reason people say that is because they're dumb. There's no real, defense has always been emphasized everywhere that you go. All right, there's a quote that has existed forever and ever that defense wins championships. And while I don't necessarily think it's a smart quote, it's always been emphasized. All right. And you had guys like Michael Cooper who were damn good defenders. All right, don't get me wrong. But today you can't win a depoy as Michael Cooper and the talent that he had. So is defense more emphasized as in talked about back then? Yes, because it was easier to defend your offensive players. But defense is better today and also more important, all right? Because back in the day, you could get around having no defensive bag whatsoever if you could score on the microwave, all right? If you could be a microwave scorer. Nowadays, you can't. Look at Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is fucking gone, all right? Cam Thomas might be working at 7-Eleven next year. Cam Thomas has no job right now, all right? And a guy like one Pistons guy in the finals in the 90s, can't really remember him, Vinnie Johnson, I think, known as the microwave. He would not have a career today. He would not even be a role player today. Just Jordan Clarkson is kind of a Vinnie Johnson comp, so I kind of take back that. But he's just, as I'm saying, defense is just so much harder to do now that people think it's emphasized less, even though it's emphasized more.
Okay.
When was the NBA more popular, 90s or today?
I think the NBA is more popular today.
No, it's not even close. NBA's gone down.
So what they're saying about the league today is Charlie Kirk is trying to compare popularity to wide understanding on something. Okay? The NBA has gotten less like serious as people talk about it, but it's also more popular than it ever has been. All right? If you look at the TV ratings and stuff like that, they're always shit. But also, that's kind of because we've moved to every single goddamn streaming service under the sun. All right, now you have Peacock streaming some finals games. I mean, some playoffs games. You have Prime Video. You have all these places. So nationally televised is kind of ceasing to exist, which is something that I might debate about in another video, because it is extremely important. You know, there's such a severe paywall in front of everything, but kind of off track. It's more popular today, but it's less seriously taken today.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, like
no,
I think
LeBron
there's
even
still a lot
admits
of
it.
basketball fans.
The
Right?
ratings are way down. No, that's okay. I'm working with you here,
Yeah,
Jerome.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get you to a place of completion. Who it's all good. It's all good. The last 10 years, who's been the face of the NBA?
Like LeBron,
In the 90s, who was the face of the NBA?
Jordan.
Wait, so Jordan made the NBA more popular, and LeBron made the NBA a joke.
That is so dumb that I can't comprehend that. That is true Republican logic. Um, how do I tackle this? So I'll tackle the Michael Jordan part because he's correct about that. Okay, Michael Jordan made the NBA extremely popular. Michael Jordan saved the NBA to a degree. All right, extremely popular, extremely, he's a world-known name. But you know who else is a world-known name? LeBron fucking James. All right, and you want to know who else made the NBA hella popular? Because you can look at it and be like, this is a guy who is the NBA. LeBron James. The NBA is more popular than ever right now. So this does not make sense to me. This truly does not make a single d amount of sense. 0.5 inches sense right here.
No.
Look at these fucking numbskulls all in the back. He doesn't even fucking watch basketball. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy looks like Anthony Edwards if he was albino. Fuck you. Hooper Flag over here looking like, oh yeah, I agree with what he's saying because he has my red elephant. Like, motherfucker, shut up, man. She looks like she just downed a fucking Jack Daniels, okay? These guys do not. And this guy's ginger! They don't know what they're talking about.
The NBA is on verge of collapse. No one wants to watch it. Crowd attendance is down. They got to.
Brother, it's not. The crowd attendance is down. Okay, but the NBA is so much more popular, dog.
Give away free food. They got to give away free beer. The cable channel.
Maybe in Sacramento, they have to give away free food. Maybe in Charlotte, they have to give away free beer. Maybe with the Wizards, they sell tickets for $2. But you'll notice something. All those teams suck. All of those teams suck. All right, and for the cost of going to one Bulls game back in the peak, I am so unbelievably sure that a middle of the road NBA team would cost more. So the NBA, even accounting with inflation, okay, if you equaled it out, I would bet. I'm not sure, but I would bet.
Are like basically no one wants to watch it. It's like a 3-point contest. No one plays defense.
Bad take. We literally just saw in the playoffs that defense is what changed that whole series. The Nuggets versus the T-Wolves series. Want to know who won because of why? I'll give you a hint. The Nuggets offense wasn't great, but their defense was a whole lot worse. Okay, shout out Jaden McDaniels. Quote, we're gonna go after the bad defenders. And he starts to list off every single person on the fucking team. Okay, the thing is, everything matters more now. Okay, you can't have a role player who just does one thing. Well, you can, but they're not gonna be good. Okay, even a guy like Tyler Kolek needs to develop a bag defensively before he can be a rotation guy. Okay, he would be fine, 30 years ago. Today, he's not. So I don't understand what you're saying by defense doesn't exist.
So the league of LeBron is going into a place of irrelevance. Jordan left the league at the highest ratings ever with a cultural phenomenon the way we've never seen before. I don't know. I define greatness also as what do you do to the league?
Which is an extremely fine way to define it. Okay, you can define greatness as what do you do to the also she is. Oh, she wants some Kirkification right here. Look at this shit. Damn, she's interested. But anyway, what I was saying is that I forgot.
And I'm happy to tell it to LeBron. Another question though, which is I define greatness based on pressure, right?
Okay. Yeah.
How many NBA Finals did Jordan lose?
And here we are. We have reached it. The ultimate clip farm that every single Michael Jordan Glazer uses. How many finals did he lose? I'm gonna just let him speak, then I'll dismantle this.
He lost. He didn't lose none.
6-0. How many has LeBron lost?
He lost. Okay.
Well, Bill Russell had a better team than MJ, but that's okay. We'll talk about Bill.
And this guy just mentioned something that immediately fucks this argument up the rectum, out of the mouth, and back into the rectum again. All right, he just said that Bill Russell is like 11 and 1, 11 and 0. I'm not even going to look it up. But Bill Russell, if we want to bring up rings, because that's what we're doing right now, we're doing ring culture. Bill Russell has 11 of them motherfuckers. He could put on all of his fingers and his third leg. That's how many rings this dude has. But no, we want to push an agenda of Michael Jordan being God. And he's going to do that to the biggest extent that he can.
Russell, we can talk about Bird. It's a totally different game. I would lose. Trust me. So Kobe's better than LeBron. That's a whole.
In every way that you want to say that, that's just wrong, bro. Kobe is not in my top 5 greatest players of all time. And when I hear people say a quote 3-headed goat and they're talking about Kobe, that's how you know that someone does not watch basketball. That's how you know that someone does not have an IQ above 50. All right? You have genuinely the school that I go to levels of IQ. And in case y'all don't know, that's bad. Bad levels of IQ. Can't disclose the school, not going to disclose anything. Bad. I would say that if you want to bring up this argument, that smart fellow in the back, um, I'm not sure who it is. Maybe the guy who's trying to get a peep on Charles. But Bill Russell's the perfect anti-argument against this. I mean, argument against this. The anti-reason to the Michael Jordan 6-0 shit. Because Bill Russell is so fucking good. And if you want to say he's never lost finals game, guess what? Bill Russell's never lost a game 7. So we can say that people have never lost things. Okay, and that's great for you. And if you want to think that, then I have a GOAT for you. That's Bill Russell. Now, we should also ask how many finals LeBron has been to in a harder era. All right. Now, this is a conversation that none of y'all want to get into, okay? Because it might just take away Michael Jordan's GOAT case for some of you, okay? Because personally, I am a believer that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, all right? And the thing is, I'm also a believer that LeBron James is the GOAT. So just take that as you will. Everybody is great. Bill Russell is another GOAT, all right? Because if you're going to take away from era, then, you know, all these guys aren't the GOAT. If you want to go era, like, every 30 years, it's like we cut out an era from being in the GOAT debate. All right, in the Michael Jordan era, Bill Russell was cut out of the GOAT debate. In the LeBron era, Kareem has now been cut out of the GOAT debate. So, you know, maybe in another 30, we're like, that Michael Jordan guy was going against plumbers and OnlyFans models. You know, maybe in another era, LeBron James now is going against plumbers and OnlyFans models. You really don't know what will happen in the future.
Now that's a thought crime. So, but no, let's stay on this. So, but LeBron has lost, my memory, at least 5 or 6 finals, at least. I mean, every team, he's lost one with the Cavaliers, he lost one with the Heat, he lost one, but I mean, he's lost all over the place.
So let's talk about the ones that he fucking lost, why don't we? 2008, I believe. Let me fact check that. Ooh, that was not the right finals. That's why we fact check. 2007, in the NBA Finals, LeBron James had no goddamn right being there. But you want to know what? This dude picked up fucking guys who you haven't heard of on his did, and he made it to the finals. Are we now punishing him for being somewhere he shouldn't have been? What sense does that make? From Kirkification man's logic, we should be saying that LeBron should not have won the conference finals that year. What are we talking about? Stupid, stupid, stupid logic. All right? So LeBron James shouldn't have made it to the finals that he lost. Then he would have been a perfect 4-0. Is that what y'all wanted? Because no, the guy's made it to 10 finals. Okay, and also not on every team he's been on, because he never lost on the Lakers. He went 1-0 on the Lakers. So what are we talking about? He's lost about every single team finals that he's been to. Fuck you. You're wrong. Okay, but here's the thing. He lost a couple on the Miami Heat. He did. And if you want to say something, 2013 was a great example of something that you could say. But then again, if we want to bring up someone being not themselves, we can bring up Shaquille O'Neal. We can bring up Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan left the league twice because he might have lost those years. Not because, but he might have lost those years that he did leave the league. So I think we're going to reward him for leaving the NBA and leaving some greatness on the table. That's what we're going to do. And there's some theories that he got banned for gambling. Oh, not your goat. Your goat didn't gamble. No. He also went to the Wizards. And you want to know how good he was on the Wizards? He was fine. That doesn't sound like a goat, does it? I had to say he was good on the Wizards. That doesn't sound like greatness, does it? No. No, it doesn't. But the thing is, with every single human being that you have who has played a basketball game, everybody has bad games. LeBron waffled in the 2011 finals. Yes, he did. Michael Jordan was not the player that he was while he joined the Wizards. No, he was not. And if y'all want to say, well, he was old as shit, guess what? LeBron's still old as shit, and he's able to carry a team through the first round, and we're going to see where. He might just be older than LeBron was. He might just be older than Michael Jordan was at the time. So, guys, stop. Stop this stupid fucking debate.
And so, Jordan redefined the game. He brought the NBA from irrelevancy to the most popular phenomenon in every country around the world.
You want to know who else redefined the game? Well, guess what, asshole? There's like 80 fucking people who have redefined the game. I'm sure Artis Gilmore, back in the day, redefined what it was to be a center. I'm sure, Nikola Jokic, at this point, has redefined what it meant to be a big man who can pass the ball. Okay? Steph Curry is not the GOAT. But he redefined the game, didn't he? He redefined the game in a bigger way than Michael Jordan ever did. But he's not the GOAT.
And also, let me just ask a question. When you go to the inner city, you go to Chicago, you go to Atlanta, do you say, hey, man, are you wearing Jordans? Or do you say, hey, are you wearing LeBrons?
Ah, yes, the shoe argument. We can skip this whole argument because this is not greatness. He has a better shoe than LeBron. Therefore, he's the GOAT. Look at this man. He seriously believes himself. This dude fucking believes in what he's saying. This dude out here like, I got you there, didn't I? No, you didn't. Look at this woman acting like that's such a big point. Oh, you got him there. The shoes. Like, shut the fuck off, bro.
I said, you're right. You're right. All right, I'll ask.
And now our poor guy Jerome is going to be made into a fool by the Republican audience because he thinks that Michael Jordan has better shoes than LeBron James.
But the way I see it, right, I think LeBron's the GOAT just because of what I've seen him be able to do. Because I did not grow up watching MJ.
This is complete fact, all right? As I said in the beginning of the video, the GOAT debate matters when you grew up, all right? Kirk Stan grew up right when Michael Jordan was doing his thing, all right? So clearly Michael Jordan is his GOAT. And you know what? That's great. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron James is the fucking GOAT. Okay? So that's great for him. I'm happy.
Fair enough, but just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah.
Right? And it's all. I'm just saying though that like what you think is high quality basketball is like basically sloppy, disorganized AAU of 125 to 120 games.
Oh, oh my God. These motherfuckers. Guarding Michael Jordan should have been. Some of these motherfuckers in the finals were slacking off because they were bad defenders. What are you talking about? AAU slop? Bro, your local YMCA MVP, fucking Church League MVP, could have been a role player back in that era. But this is slop. Oh, 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 oh.
And that's another important point. The average score of an NBA game in the 1990s were like high 80s, early 90s. Now an average regular season.
It's also just not true. Uh, Teams were regularly scoring 100 in that era. So if you want to say that they sometimes scored 80, well, guess what, asshole? In the playoffs, teams score 80 now. Sometimes. Okay, it's not regular, but it happens. But if you want to look at, Chicago won 86-80. They always do that now. We can say that.
Season game in the NBA is like high 110s, early 120s.
You also want to know why? Because three-point shooting began to exist. Analytics became to exist. All right, and people find out how to score more points more efficiently in less time. All right, the average pace is so much faster. You remember the 7 seconds or less Suns? Yeah, they were seen as a fucking lightning strike. They were seen as a blur headed down the court. You want to know what, motherfucker? The Wizards are faster in pace than the 7-second Suns, and they are shit.
No one plays defense as much. The game has been like more 3-point centric. It's just a different game where.
So I've tackled all these points already, but I will say it is a different game. It's a far harder game, but it is a different game. It evolves every year, every which way. It's like, if you look at the offense, then like net rating and all that stuff, everything has improved year over year now. So it is a different game. You're right, Kirkenstein. But want to know what? It's a harder, different game. It's a better, different game. You're just cut
defense
because
is,
that was
you know why
cringe.
no one wants to get hurt. If you want, by the way, I encourage you. This is
No one wants to get hurt, right? How about Dante DiVincenzo tearing his fucking Achilles like a couple weeks ago? How about Anthony Edwards? He's gonna return inevitably on a hurt leg. How about Joel Embiid? The most injured guy is still playing in the NBA because he gives a shit. All right? Nobody wants to get hurt besides everybody who plays for honor, plays for the bag, everybody who puts their all into basketball. They want to get injured. Well, they don't want to get injured, but they're okay with the sacrifice. It's a sacrifice willing to make for some of these guys.
your homework, okay?
Okay.
Go watch The Last Dance with Jordan. I'm telling you, it will change your mind. What Jordan had to do to get even through the Detroit Pistons, they would throw him around, they would smack him down. LeBron has never had to face defense the way that Jordan had to against the Pistons.
What about the Warriors?
Never.
He's so fucking wrong. This dude, he just went out of his way to be like, yo, watch a documentary. And by the way, the core purpose of a documentary is to change your opinion on things. Okay? The purpose of a documentary is literally to influence your opinion. So go watch a documentary about influencing your opinion and have your opinion influenced. And then you'll see, obviously, that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, right? Right? I mean, that's it, correct? That doesn't make any sense. I'm sure when LeBron retires, there's going to be a fucking last Diddy party or something like that. And we're gonna all be like, "Oh my God, the things that LeBron James had to do to put the fucking Cleveland on his back when he was fighting the Warriors, or put the Heat on his back when all these guys weren't performing and shit like that." We can say that about everybody. All right,
Never. Jordan had competition that no one else had. Jordan played against Magic Johnson.
Steph Curry is better all time than Magic Johnson, so we have an equivalent. Also, Jordan played against Magic when he was losing. Y'all understand that, right? Magic Johnson was past his prime when Michael Jordan started winning. Larry Bird was past his prime, into his back issue stage, his retirement home stage, when Michael Jordan started winning. Really makes you think, doesn't it? Oh my
Jordan
God.
played against Isaiah Thomas. Jordan
IT was also a damn good player, but want to know what? He never could win against IT, could he? IT got a repeat while he was still getting his lick on. All right? So if we want to say he had to fight against all these guys, and he had to lose against all these guys, guess what? LeBron James has also lost basketball games. Michael Jordan has lost basketball games. We're going to say 6-0 in the finals, but all those years that he didn't make the fucking playoffs, completely fine.
played against Charles Barkley. Jordan played against.
All due respect to Chuck, what the fuck? Yo, Chuck's a goat. He's a good player. He's a damn good player. He's a great player. But we're going third. Wait, hold on.
Jordan had competition that no one else had. Jordan played against Magic Johnson. Jordan played against Isaiah Thomas. Jordan played against Charles.
Charles Barkley is the third person that you're mentioning. I can name players right now who rank higher that LeBron James has had to go up against. All right, LeBron James has had to go up against Kobe Bryant. He's had to go up against Tim Duncan. He's had to go up against Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. All guys who rank higher than Charles Barkley all time. All guys that Michael Jordan has never thought about going up against because they didn't exist back when he was a guy. All right, what are we saying? What are we saying, guy? Every GOAT has had hard opponents.
Barkley, Jordan played against Stockton, and he never.
He didn't mention the better player. He didn't mention the better player on the fucking Jazz at that time. Was he a? Yes, Karl Malone was a dirty, dirty man who impregnated someone who was 13 when he was 20. Yes, he did. All right. But you want to know what? You want to know what? John Stockton is a fucking phony, and we're mentioning him. John Stockton was a Karl Malone merchant. All right. This dude's assist count, and I can guarantee you, if you're bringing up John Stockton, you're bringing up the assist count. His assists were so artificially inflated. They would give him shit that he did not deserve. Okay, because it was John Stockton. John Stockton would pass to Karl Malone in the post. Karl Malone would hit 2 dribble back downs, fucking fade into a shot. All Karl Malone. John Stockton would get an assist for that. John Stockton is a phony. All right. So if we're mentioning him, and he's passionate, you can tell by the way his mouth's looking. He's passionate about this.
Never lost the final. LeBron played against guys that could never even compete with the legend of the 90s, and he lost more finals than he won.
I think LeBron played against a lot greater. I think LeBron played against a lot greater players than Jordan had to play against.
You know, I have so much. Oh, shut the fuck up. I know what you're about to say with that goofy ass look. But anyway, I have a lot of respect for what Jerome is doing. All right. He's standing up for what he believes in. He has to go in front of all these airheaded Republicans and speak his mind about LeBron James being the greatest of all time. All right. And you want to know what? Jerome, you don't have to think that LeBron went up against harder people. You just know that shit. Stop being humble. Come on, you know that shit.
You got to think about that
KD,
one. Who? You
Curry?
think Hayden is comparable?
Who? I said Curry.
You think Steph Curry's compared to Magic Johnson?
All right.
I think Curry is better than Matt Johnson.
Facts.
That's a different planet.
Yeah.
Because here's why, and I'll just close with it.
Yeah.
I don't take any NBA seriously post like 2012, 2013. The game has descended into
So he's just gonna discount for half of LeBron James's whole career because he deems it not NBA. It's like me. It's like my bias towards pre-Bill Russell. All right, I don't take pre-Bill Russell as existing in the NBA sphere. All right, when you could say it exists. But want to know why? Because it was so deep in segregation that black people weren't fucking playing basketball. All right? Statistically speaking, the best players in NBA history are all black. All right? You had potential GOATs who would get fucking beaten up, the shit beaten out of them, if they were to dare think about joining a basketball league. So that's why I discount that. But you can't give a good reason, can you? You cannot give a good reason why you discount 2013 onwards. All right, some of the best basketball has been played in this era of 2013 onwards. But you really can't wrap your small, little, bink-ass mind around that, can you?
Sloppiness, ratings driven, really a China appeasing model of the game. China, by the way, the NBA has configured all the China. It's rebroadcast there through all their money. It's they
LeBron James is not the GOAT because China watches NBA basketball. China! China watches basketball. Therefore, LeBron is bad at basketball. That's how you sound. And you know, this facial expression is really doing you justice for how you sound right now. That's really doing you some justice, my guy.
like high points, 3-point, 3-point shooting.
Oh, this dirty, dirty three-point ball. These darn youngins shooting from half court, pulling up from half court, thinking they Steph Curry. That doesn't happen in the NBA. That happens in middle school basketball, you fuck ass.
Players, if you go watch the 90s NBA, it was players diving on the floor. They bloody themselves up. They get in fights all the time. And
What are you talking about, bro? What you talking about? So, guys who dive on the floor exist now. I'm sorry to tell you, bro, but they exist. You know, you don't want to see it because apparently you haven't watched 2013 and onwards basketball. So you really don't know, do you? But those guys exist. All right, you have guys like Josh Hart, who are ultimate hustle guys, will do everything. Musa Diabite, an ultimate hustle guy. You have some true hustle goats that you haven't watched, that you think are 3-point merchants who don't play defense.
yeah, Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen. And by the way, it's like, and like Steph Curry's own.
I want to see if this guy can name a single guy who is not like an all-time great or carried by Michael Jordan. All right, because Scottie Pippen, I have my thoughts on him. He is nowhere near as good as people say he is. All right, my guy was good on defense, fine on offense. That's not that's not an all-time great. That's an all-time great role player. All right, my guy Michael Porter Jr. is also pretty damn good on offense. He's shit at defense. Let me think of a guy who's actually equivalent to Scottie Pippen right now. Also starts with Scotty. Scotty Barnes. I introduce you to Scotty fucking Barnes. All right, my autistic twin loves Scotty. Really goddamn good on defense. I would argue better on offense. Now you might see his 3-point shooting and be like, "Oh God, this guy is so much worse." Also, look at how disappointed this guy is in Charlie Kirk. Shout out this guy. But you might see the 3-point shooting and be like, "Oh my God, he can't shoot for shit. He's awful." You want to know who else couldn't shoot for shit? Everybody in the 90s. Scotty Barnes just attempts more. All right. So that's not something you can comment down below. You can't beat Scotty Barnes low key better than fucking Pippen. All right, and he's not even a top 15 player right now. So we're really this is another side note. Scottie Pippen cannot be in top 75 convos, top 100 convos. What the fuck are you talking about? Scottie Pippen, 75th all time in the top 75. What are we doing, guys? It was a career second option. First time he tried to be a first option, he couldn't fucking do it. Couldn't do it.
Coach Steve Kerr played for Michael Jordan, and like, by the way, and I know this is a tough question. I can't think of like any. I could think of 2 moments in LeBron's career that I think is clutch. Maybe the.
That's just because you're a fucking idiot. Maybe you have Alzheimer's and your memory isn't right. So hey, bro, I'm sorry if that's the case. You just can't remember things. That's not your fault. Well, no, it is your fault. Spouting shit that's hap because you're wrong. All right, that's your fault. Spitting random bullshit because you can't fucking remember who, anybody from the 90s is, anybody from today's league, any moments at all. You just can't remember that. Wanna know what's clutch? LeBron James scoring so many goddamn points in every single playoff series he's been in, besides 2011's finals. That's pretty goddamn clutch if you ask me, you know?
Maybe the block again.
You know, what's funny is I was looking directly at Kirkenstein while I was saying that, so I wasn't looking at y'all. But I meant to say that to y'all too. If you think like this guy, fuck you.
Cleveland Cavaliers to win the finals when he went back to Cleveland. Respect, that was good. Good for him, right? And maybe like the game winner, I think it was like game 3 or game 4, even though they didn't win the series back in like 2007, 2008. But like Michael Jordan has the most legendary clutch performances of any player in the history of the game. We're talking about like
That's also true. Congratulations, Mr. Kirk. You have spat facts for once. Michael Jordan is an extremely clutch player and might just be the clutchest of all time. Yep, that's facts. But does that make him a GOAT? Does him being able to make impressive shots when the time is winding down solely make him a GOAT? I would say it adds to his case. And this is one of the reasons why you can say Michael Jordan is the GOAT, because he's the clutchest player of all time. You can say that, and I'm not going to be mad at you. But when you try to discredit LeBron while you're trying to prop up Michael Jordan as Jesus, that's what I can't let you do.
the game winner in game 6 against Cleveland, or what he did against the Utah Jazz to cap off his career. And I'll close with this. You know how you are the GOAT? You're the GOAT when you don't have to keep on playing to your 40 and get your kid some sort of, special job just because you're a billionaire.
All these dumb fucks in the background, just like, yeah, we don't even know what Bronny James can actually do, but we're gonna say yes because this is our beautiful, precious, golden boy, Charlie. I believe you so much. Fuck off. All right, Bronny James is a real rotation player in the NBA. Y'all want to hear it again? Bronny James is a fine defender. Y'all want to know something else? Bronny James can grow into a fine player. But we're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that. Also, you're saying that Michael Jordan is better because LeBron played until he was 40. Let's look up something real quick. Let's go to Basketball Reference. Michael Jordan. Let's conveniently forget that he was 39 when he retired. He wasn't 40. He was 39. That's great. That's great, isn't it? Averaged 20 points. Was an all-star because the fans loved him. Like, if we look at his field goal percentage, was nothing special. Couldn't shoot a three for dick. Yeah, his last 2 seasons were not great. The thing that he has in his last 2 seasons where he played 82 games. In old age, that's extremely impressive. I'm actually extremely, impressed by that. You can play a lot of games while you're 40. That's great. But you want to know who's the greatest 40-year-old of all time? You want to know who has the best averages and is the best player while they were 40 of all time? You don't, Charlie. But I'm going to tell you anyway. LeBron James. LeBron James is almost 42 years old. And he is still better than Michael Jordan was at 39. He's better than Michael Jordan was at 38. And you guess what, asshole? He retired for 3 years. So we're not going to know how good he was at 35, 36, or 37. LeBron didn't. So we're going to punish LeBron James for staying in the league, being as great as you can be while you're that age. It's stupid.
That's how
it's
you know
ludicrous.
you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. We were like, I just won 6. Thanks so much. I'm retiring. Thanks for playing.
But you gotta still come back. If he had retired truly, then that would be a stupid point, but I could see it. But when people talk about Michael Jordan being the GOAT, I hear a lot of, oh, we don't count the Wizards days. So why can we not count the 2011 finals for LeBron? Because it goes against your argument. That's why we can't count it for LeBron. That's why we gotta count it, I should say, for LeBron. Because it goes against your Jordan glizzy gobbling, per se. Alright? You motherfuckers are so invested in Michael Jordan's rectum that you gotta keep on even after he used the bathroom. I heard a story about Michael Jordan's teammate. He had a Michael Jordan poster. He would touch that poster for good luck. Want to know what? He got on Michael Jordan's team. Want to know what he started doing? He started touching Michael Jordan for good luck. That's how much y'all glaze this guy. Y'all call him Black Jesus. I'm gonna just rest my point right there.
The GOAT knows he's the greatest, and he doesn't have to keep on playing to prove it.
I would say that LeBron James is playing for the money and the love of the game. Is that wrong for someone to play basketball because they love basketball and love money? Guess what? Michael Jordan loves both of those things. He just stopped playing basketball. There is no difference between that mentality. Get the bag first, get the ball second. No difference. But we don't like LeBron. So,
Right.
Thanks, Jerome. You're the best. You want a hat?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. God bless, man. As you can tell, I have no opinions. I defend Michael Jordan to the death.
I would sit on Michael Jordan's dick to the death. Quote from Charles Kirk here. But I'm pretty sure that might be the end of his basketball talk.
I am from Chicago, so yeah. If your portfolio is over $250,000.
Thanks for telling me, Kirk. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell that you only went to Chicago games. The only experience he has in seeing John Stockton is when he's playing against the Bulls. The only experience this guy has in seeing anybody good is when they're playing against the Bulls. We won. That was a very intense video. Politics aside, well, you can't put them aside for him. But if I had to guess IQ based off of a video, and this was the video that they sent me, I'd say it was like 90. You know, yes, you are speaking to Riff Raff, who buys MAGA hats online at very high costs, and yes, you're speaking to people who probably bought the Trump phone. But you found your crowd. You found your crowd of people who have 70 IQ. I'm proud of you, Charlie. Well, maybe you could have kept living. Being one, hating on some other people talking about basketball, because low-key, I had a fucking great time. Nah, that was a fun time. And I'll see y'all in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys.